I am in Pennsylvania and we are going turkey hunting. When it comes to turkey hunting, it is a lot easier if you can find the birds the evening before you're going to hunt. And to do this, I will bring an owl hoot. When you let out the call, if there are birds around, they will gobble back. Ideally they will. Sometimes they don't. But the trick is to do it at the perfect hour when the birds have already flown up on their roost and they're cozy and they are tucked in for the night. So let's do it. If we don't hear any gobbles tonight, we will still be hunting early in the morning. It will just be a little bit of shot in the dark. Hopefully we'll just find one. But while we're out, I am going to look for somewhere else. It rained yesterday and possibly even the day before. The weather has been really up and down here. But today, after the rain, today was beautiful. I think the high was high 60s, low 70s. And it's gonna be the same way for the next few days. Lots of sunshine, which should be good conditions for the morels. As we're driving to some of these spots that I want to check, we're both keeping our eyes peeled for turkeys along the way. It is 7:35. Sun sets at, what is it, like 8:10?
It's like 8:26.
Oh my God, 8:26. So they'll be flying up within the next 20-25 minutes, somewhere around there. So knowing that the birds are likely still on the ground, driving around can actually help you find, it's like a legitimate method of scouting, to drive around in the evening and look for birds. But anyways, we flew in from Florida to hunt here for this week and it feels so good. We're in dense hardwood forests. It's wet, it's cloudy. It actually is sunny today, but in general, it's very like wet, cloudy, gloomy, lots of soft grass and soft buds on all of the trees, soft, beautiful, fragile flowers. Like, it's so different and it's fun to be able to have a little bit of both. I killed a turkey in Florida over 2 months ago. And just as I was saying, it's not sunny here. It's so sunny. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he's a tom.
Mm-hmm. 1 gobbler, 4 hens, strutting their stuff. These guys are on private land right now, but they're not too far from public either. So they could be a good option for the morning.
1, 2 there, and then 1 there.
Oh my
no,
goodness.
1 there. 1, 2, 3, 3 gobs and 3 hens. Wow.
And these guys are on public.
Yeah, they're on public.
Yeehaw! We stopped at a spot where we've found morels before. I don't think that they're going to be popping just yet, but like we couldn't help but come and look. Also listening for gobbles though. Nick said he found one. How big are they? That's a morel.
There's one there.
That's a
There's a
morel.
big one there.
I see it.
There's another small
Oh, I
one.
see another one right there.
Some of them might be ready if you want them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big puppy.
It's pretty nice.
That one's ready for harvest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look. Okay, we found some big ones. Some that are ready to go. Look at that. It's so amazing when you forage and you actually find what you're looking for. I'm holding back a little bit because we're inside. I didn't even need to use this tonight because all of the birds that we saw were on the ground. I think we saw 4 toms total. And then this stole the show. Holy crap. We're going to eat them tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a turkey to eat with them, but even if we don't, I'm cooking these morels in some butter with some salt. Ooh. And there were so many more baby mushrooms that we left because they were so small. So we could go back again tomorrow or the next day and have even more morels, which is so cool. Let's get some coffee. Ooh. Iced coffee. Yes. Woo! So the plan this morning is to hunt a group of birds that we found. They're in a spot where we can hopefully carry in a ground blind. I got 5 hours and 52 minutes of sleep last night. Not super hot. Are you excited? I'm excited. What else do I need? This is actually from Midway. Nick bought this for me. Ready to rock. I think we're gonna get busted if we try and push in there because it's so open.
They're gonna bust us if we get too close.
We're tucked into some hemlocks, and they're right there. So let's see if this works. We've got a Jake decoy out. Hopefully they feel like coming in and rumbling a little bit. So they were just out of reach and had a hen. We saw one, unconfirmed if it was a Tom or a Jake, but a boy puffed out at full strut. He was probably 110 maybe yards away. Was just over this little hump, so he didn't see our decoy, or I don't think he did. But on top of that, definitely had hens, because if they didn't, they would have came running into us. We set up a blind. We're chilling. Called a little bit. They've been hanging out nearby. We've heard their gobbles all morning. And one of them just let out a thunderous gobble. It's a little bit closer. So that means it's time to mask up. Same spot that they were this morning. It's one hen, 2 gobblers, and we think they got spooked by something because there were a bunch of deer that moved through with them. Oh, there's the deer again. They're just like over. The topography's just enough that I don't think they can see the decoy. We did call a little bit. They're not fired up and interested in coming away from the hen yet, but they might. Or they will eventually. Big couple. I'm sure there's more on me that I just can't see. Story of the day is Toms with hens don't want to play. We got into so many turkeys, it's unreal. And it didn't work out. So now we're morel hunting for just a little bit because it's noon. Turkey hunting's over for the day. Look at our beautiful bounty. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We have 15 beautiful morels. So the way that I stored these in the refrigerator, the best method is a brown paper bag. If you don't have a brown paper bag, which I did not, I used paper towels. Literally just wrapped them completely in paper towels. Didn't put them in any kind of container, just set them in the refrigerator. It allows them to breathe and it keeps them cool, soft, and a little bit moist. So first thing I'm gonna do is cut them in half to reveal any bugs. There's probably some buggies in here. I am making fried morels for the first time ever tonight. And I don't have flour, which is typically something that you would want when you're going to deep fry, but I'm going to use cornstarch instead, which will actually give these a crispier breading. I do have some blended oil. So this is what we're going to fry them in. And I also have this cute little cast iron pan. So I'm gonna load her up, aiming for a temperature around 350, 375, somewhere in there. We have an electric stove at home in Florida, so I'm not used to gas anymore. I'm more used to electric. I prefer gas. I already put some kosher salt into the breadcrumbs. I'm also putting some garlic powder and onion powder. All right, there we go. Just a little bit, don't need a lot. Mix that up. And then always, always, always taste. Yep. Ooh, that's very well seasoned. That's good. Morel, cut in half. First into cornstarch. Whoa. I was not expecting it to stick that well. Beautiful. Then into egg mixture. Then over here too. Hell yeah. The turkeys won this morning. It was really frustrating actually. Between yesterday and today, they just will not leave their hens. So this was actually creeping up a little bit higher than I like. It was like up over 375. Dropping these morels in, took that temperature down to 350. But I need to flip these. They're cooking quick. Oh boy, oh my Lord. Deep fried morel. It's so good. Damn. Oh, that was a good meaty bite. You know what? It tastes so great. But it tastes just like any other fried food. It tastes yummy. It's just like kind of disappointing because I can't taste the morel really. You know? Okay. I wouldn't recommend this for morels because you lose all the flavor that is a morel. Still fun, but like, what did you think? Same thing?
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
It's good with beer and
Some
it's
kind of like
bar
yummy
food.
dip, like
It's
a marinara would be yummy, but then literally like
it's just bar food.
Yeah, it's like a mozzarella stick. Well, good morning. We slept in and I feel like $1,000,000. It's 8:30. I'm dressed. I'm ready to hit the woods. It is freezing today. I think it was in the 40s last night. Now I'm focused, I'm rested, I feel reset, and I'm ready to hit the woods and really like run around and explore and try and find a gobbling tom this morning. I'm hoping to find something like this today. This is a shed. Did you find this last year? Yeah, he found this during deer season last year, so we're taking it home to Abby Girl. So that's why it's sitting out like that. But maybe we'll find more today while we're running around. I did find a matching set. Oh, it's up there. There they are, those little boys. Still got them. All the gobblers. Come to me. Boy, all right. We have kind of hit a laurel. I was going to call it a laurel edge, but it's like a laurel pocket. We're pretty deep in the laurel now. I don't think that turkey particularly like the laurel because it puts them at greater risk of getting attacked by predators like coyotes, bobcats, etc. So really we're just kind of trucking through this to get to the next spot. I'd be shocked if we saw or heard a turkey in the laurel.
Make me a chicken quesadilla when we get home.
Fire's going. Today we hung up, well, mostly Nick did, but we hung up his bear. This is his bear from 2021, and that is his deer from 2021 as well. He shot that with a rifle. He shot the bear with his bow, and that bear was super cool because Game Commission actually came to the house to check it because it was during archery season. They didn't have a check station set up like they do with the normal bear season. So that was a very, very special memory. I do not want to sit in a blind again tomorrow. Here's my conundrum. I love the balance of easy hunts and hard hunts. Like, I want to be able to do both. I like both. If I could only have all of one, I would not be happy with that. You know, that's not ideal. And by easy hunt, what am I trying to say? Blinds are very useful, very effective, but when you've been sitting in a blind for a few days in a row, it just is boring. It's like a lot of the excitement and adventure of the hunt goes away with a blind. While at the same time, it makes me feel so concealed, so safe. I can wear my big hearing protection and not think twice about it. I can move around a little bit more, be a little more comfortable. It's very chill. And I like that sometimes, but not all the time. Like, I don't want that to be the way that I hunt all of the time. And with these turkeys, it felt like the blind was going to be the way to do it, but they're just not coming in, they're not playing, they're not committing, and the problem is these birds are kind of pinched by private land, and so I can't be as aggressive as I normally would if I was just hunting like a huge swath of public land. It's like they're in a tricky spot. So the blind seemed like a really good choice, and it's just like it's not working for me. It's just not scratching the itch of adventure and fun and exploring. Today we did end up hiking around for, I don't know, actually I should see how far we hiked today. We hiked for 3 miles and we didn't hear a gobble, and then we sit in the blind where the birds are and it's gobble, 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 but they won't commit. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating and fun all at the same time. Like, I'm being a little dramatic here, don't get me wrong. I'm having a great time, but I also, like, this is my conundrum. I want to fill my turkey tag. And I feel like the best way to do that is to sit in this blind and really like just be patient for these like 3 or 4 gobblers that are just so close. They're so close. Or I can go hike around and scratch my foraging itch, my shed hunting itch, my kind of deer scouting itch, my just like desire to run around and discover things, find things, stumble upon things. But I feel like my chances of actually killing a turkey go way down if I choose to do that. That is a conundrum. Dinner on a paper plate. We've got morels, some squash. This is a mixture of morels, red pepper, jalapeno. And if we had killed a turkey, we'd have some turkey, but we don't, so going a little vegan tonight. Sauteed morel. Oh my god, it's so good. Sometimes I do think their taste can be overhyped, but like actually, I mean, they're really great. Better than a portobello, better than shiitake. Probably tied.
Oh, that is spicy as shit.
I know! I regret not. I know, my lips are still burning.
Damn.
I didn't take any of the seeds out of the jalapeno. Nick likes spicy. I like a little bit of spicy, but it's hot, so I really hope my avocado cools it down. Good morning. So, it's in the 5 o'clock hour. I am wearing my full-on deer hunting Sitka suit because it is freezing out there. I left my vest outside and I had my hat in it and my gloves and everything, so I'm trying to like warm everything up before we leave.
What's up, buddy?
We have a bird gobbling. And it's already super light. But I'm trying to get as close as possible without busting. I'm just waiting for him to let out another gobble. I'm worried all the deer spooked them. There were probably like 10 deer.
The deer running through the ball.
Yeah, there were deer running like mad. I think we should like cut through here a little more, kind of pop out, get the decoy out on the edge if we can. Or I guess we could kind of pop it out right here. Because if he's over there, he probably can't see us right here.
Yeah.
But the decoy should be in the open, and I do kind of want to be backed up with this brush, with this thicket like behind me.
I can hear them scratching around.
This morning, Nick and I had what I would call a disagreement hunt, which basically means we didn't agree. I would say this happens like 1 out of 10 hunts. So like 10% of the time this happens. We are such great hunting partners, but then some days we just don't see eye to eye on things and can't come to an agreement. It's all good if we have different strategies, different ideas on how to approach things, and then we talk about it and, you know, like come up with a game plan together. That's what we normally do. But then some days I think I get a little bit of a hot head and I'm like sticking my feet in the ground like, no, this is what I want to do. And it gets me really frustrated. So Nick ended up roosting a bird last night, and it was a tom with hens. But we decided this morning to go after that bird. And it was the same thing that it's been for the last couple days, where he just was stuck with his hens and wouldn't come in. But he was on a great piece of public land where we had like a lot of good topography to work with, and we just didn't see eye to eye on things. And I think it's important to acknowledge, because this type of scenario isn't unique to couples hunting, although of course it happens with couples hunting. It happens like with any partners hunting together. Like it can be a dude hunting with his buddy. So 2 dudes, they just don't see eye to eye. it's frustrating. So it's all good. Like, we've done this enough that we understand when it happens, it's like, okay, let's just like break for the day and then we can get back to a normal swing in a bit. But I was like, well, I want to go hunt these jakes and I want to do it alone. I think I'm a really dominant female in a lot of ways, but I'm also still a very soft female and like very feminine. And so I kind of fall back and forth between what sort of the norm is and what's not the norm, because obviously I'm very independent. I hunt by myself. I do all kinds of things by myself, but I love my husband and I love being with him and I love being a partner with him. So I kind of fall back and forth between like loving having experiences with him and then other times being like, okay, but I want to grow a little bit on my own too. I like don't want to talk about it, but at the same time, that's what's real. So might as well talk about it. And I just got to the spot where I'm going to go after these jakes. Oh, there was a man parked where I wanted to park, but he might be hunting a different piece of it. So I drove around to a different access point. I don't know if he's hunting those birds or not, but I didn't want to park on top of him. That's like respectful hunter 101. If you can avoid that, you don't want to be hunting right on top of people. So hopefully he's hunting one way and I'm hunting another way. That's the hope. If I do get in there and hear him calling, I will back out. I will not be in his way, but I think I'll be good. Nah, I am going to use your chapstick, Nick. Sure does look like turkey heaven. It's hard to tell whether this is turkey or deer. You can see where they've pushed the leaves away. I have a feeling it's deer just because there's a lot of it. But they both do this. They'll both push the leaves around to find food underneath. And look what else I just found. I also found some water. Turkeys love water. Well, I walk called for the last mile and a quarter. A little bit further past where I think they roosted last night. I thought that they might come this way, but now that I'm actually here, there's so much laurel that they must have gone a different way after getting off the roost. The spot where I think that they roosted is not too far from here, but my spidey senses are tingling and saying they did not come this way after they got off the roost. And who knows, the guy who was parked there also could have been hunting them and pulled them in a different direction. So, dare I say that's a wrap on turkey season? I think that's a wrap.